I have thoughts on this angle, but it's fine. My hair looks pretty good. The bleach didn't get all the red dye out, which I wasn't expecting it to, because it's the second day, or I should say it's the next day. Hair's pink, which is good because I chose pink, so I don't have to worry about putting like lime green over this or whatever. It's dye time, so I guess I should Vaseline it up, because this is about one of the Vaselines that are actually helpful. So I guess more thoughts on the bleach and then hair dye. Bleach worked pretty well. I was so scared. I thought it fried my hair. It didn't. My hair was thankfully, for the most part, alive. When I got hopped in the shower after rinsing it out after the second go over with bleach. And I shampooed twice, one of which is like a very strong shampoo. It's the like Head and Shoulders get like strips dye out of your hair, so it was really good for getting any remnants of bleach out. And then used a concoction of conditioning stuff. So of the bleach that I've tried, it's either that or like the Manic Panic. I haven't used the Manic Panic in a while. That was one of the first, I think it was the first one I tried. So I'd have to revisit it to really know, but I think that one did a very good ratio of like actually stripping the color of my hair without a really good job of getting the color out of my hair without stripping my hair follicles or burning my scalp. I'm also going to be trying to dye my eyebrows because I did bleach them because I was like, I need to wait a minute for the water to get hot in the shower, and then I was like, wait a minute, I have a little bit of bleach left. What if I just put this on my eyebrows and waited to see what would happen? And it did work. So the sensation of rubbing Vaseline on your ears is such a fun one. Very fun, not sensory overload at all or anything. Because I am just reusing the same thing. I didn't think those were reusable. I'm still not 100% sure they're supposed to be reusable, but I'm reusing it. And even if I'm just doing like a solid color, I will still normally use one of these because I will put a concoction of like a hair mask and some conditioner in there to like help. I've just found that's what works. So I'm going to use the Shea Moisture Manuka Honey and Mafuka Oil Intensive Hydration Conditioner. And I think this is the Shea Moisture Deep Moisturizing Hair Mask. It's just the old conditioner I used to use when I fried my hair with bleach, and the hair mask I actually just use. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna do my eyebrows. Clean clip and get my bangs, or at least most of them, out of the way. This is what doing hair dye and stuff is like. I have a mirror and I got a headband, so you don't have to look at that monstrosity. This is my little makeup mirror, and I'll also probably use it when I'm... Sorry, I saw my reflection a little too close. All of this black, I think it's like a Midnight Ruby or something. It's what I had previously, and I'm going to do something a little bit fun. Hopefully it works out. Okay, if anyone else in the audience shaves their eyebrows, do you also have one eyebrow that grows back noticeably faster than the other? Because my right eyebrow has like all of the extra hairs that I normally shave off are all gone. We're all gone are all growing back now. That looks hilariously uneven. We're not gonna talk about that. It's fine. So, but yeah, and I'm gonna put the hot pink. This I can't actually give you a name for. Manic Panic Electric Pink Pussycat. What a name. Whose Pussycat are they talking about? Look at that. I always feel like it's showing up orange on camera. This is like bright pink. It is that, I'm really gonna show what I got really into during quarantine, the Kazuichi Soda from Danganronpa hair color. That's really what this is, and I'm very excited about that because he was my favorite character in those games. He was the only ones I actually liked. I think you can see what I'm trying to go for. Cool. So I guess I should probably switch to my actual hair and stuff. So about half a tablespoon of hair mask. Probably just 2 squirts of conditioner. So this was about a full, I'm assuming this is tablespoon, about a full tablespoon of the actual hair dye. Generally speaking, I guess double the amount of whatever conditioner stuff you're adding. I'm gonna do the first kind of layer of my bangs. Yeah, I actually did get my roots with the bleach pretty well, so I get to mix up all this goodness. Should also probably put gloves on at this point. Kinda just leave you over there for a second. You can do the fun mixer out there. I'm gonna have to leave this on for way longer. I didn't read how much the bottle says to leave it on, but I'll probably leave it on longer. And I guess while I'm actually putting dye on my hair, I can talk to you all about different hair dye brands and like what ones I think are like actually worth money and time. Well, I haven't tried Manic in a very long time before this color I'm doing now. But generally speaking, it is one of those brands where like you have to bleach your hair for the color to show up. It's not necessarily a pro or a con, it's just a thing to be aware of. And the other color I'm using is Splat, which I cannot in good faith recommend Splat. That's not gonna stop me from using it. I think I mentioned earlier, it's literally like fabric dye. At some point I bleached my hair and look, the red is still very much here. So, shows you a lot about it. So if you want, I guess if you really want to have color for like a long amount of time and like not have to worry about it, it's good. But if you ever want to do another color in any time in the next like year and a half, it's still gonna show up if you bleach it. I had the same problem the first time I bleached my hair where I had a red and green show up that I had not had in my hair because I had not used Splat in over a year at that point. It still showed up. It was just hiding underneath there. This is such a highlighter pink and I'm in love with it. We're gonna have to replace everything in this bathroom anyways when my parents move out, but I'm trying to minimize my contribution. You know, it's not going very well. If you don't have Sally's or... Yeah, Sally's is the place to go. At least in like the US. Some places like I think Target's got a pretty good selection now. Walmart had a decent selection. It's gone down because I think people were shoplifting it, which like, fair enough. Not my place to judge. Kolor Exchange was on Amazon. It was fine. It wasn't the best dye, but it wasn't like horrible. Darker colors actually looked pretty well because I had not bleached my hair at that point. And they did actually show up pretty okay. Aro is the other one that I've used and liked. It's the only one of the only ones I found that even, like, it is another one where you have to bleach your hair, and it doesn't have the best longevity, which is a pretty common complaint about it, which I think is very fair. But it never showed up patchy on me, and that was the issue I've had with other hair dye brands, particularly Arctic Fox was horrendous in that regard. It was so patchy on my hair, and like, I hated it. Last time I used Manic, I also remember it being a little patchy, but that could have just been because I was doing it on non-bleached hair. And like the Arctic Fox one was on bleached hair, and it was still patchy. Bane of my existence. I've never tried strawberry leopard. From what I've gathered, it's probably not gonna work well for me because I have very thick hair, which is important when it comes to hair dye. Because like what works for thick hair may not work on thin hair, and what works on thin hair may not work on thick hair. I did try and have the lime crime unicorn hair. It's the one I've tried. Works really well on bleached hair. It just doesn't have a color selection I'm fond of. A lot of people are diehards for Sea Witch. I have the like Shrek bright green one. It was perfectly fine formula. My only con was that it did not smell good. There are some hair dye smell real bad. That was one of them, and I didn't like the color, but the formula was perfectly fine. So, then with the Aro, I wouldn't recommend it for people who have long hair, just because there's not enough in each like tube of it. You'd have to buy, like, if you have very long hair, it's thick, you'd have to buy like 3 tubes of it, and it's just not worth the price at that point. But some of them, like the Manic ones, are nice, especially if you want to like touch up things, because they're in jars and resealable. The Splat ones technically aren't resealable, but this is the last I have left in the bottle, and I used it twice and a partial, so you get a good chunk about it, which is not necessary given how pigmented it is. But I'm going to explain what I'm doing with the red splat, because I didn't explain that at all. Kind of like an undercut, but not actually. Like the appearance of an undercut with hair dye. So like the areas where I would have an undercut, gonna be red. I tried this with a green combination I did before I went back to red. I do a lot of different hair colors, if you couldn't tell. It actually worked out pretty well with the green, even if it was very subtle, so I want to see what it will look like with a color that is going to be less subtle than that. Damn, bottle of summer. Actually, I am very happy we're getting the remnants of that one hurricane I don't remember the name of, and I will probably pop up on screen. That's really, I have the most chaotic conversations when I'm dyeing my hair. My mom and I used to dye my hair together. She would help me, especially with the back of my head. And by that I mean she would actually do the dyeing. I would pick out the colors and give her advice based off of what I saw people on the internet saying. The people on the internet were right. This is the con of using red hair dyes. You just look like you've committed a murder. Did I mention I'm on a trip tomorrow? Doing this right beforehand. Because of course I am. This dye is gonna sit for extra long. Because I normally will just shower once the dye is up to rinse it out, which I'll talk a bit more depending on like when I end up rinsing it out. It really looks like I'm getting away with murder here. That's the red. Alright, I have this cleaned. I'm just gonna apply straight dye. This is gonna make it a little patchier, probably, but it'd be like that sometimes, you know? That's just the way it ends up. Because it's not going to be right. Don't do that one. And I'm going to do it, but I don't see. So, I have to focus on it. So, yeah, and damn! You know, there's the, like, cooking thing where you like clean as you go. I try to clean as I go when I'm doing hair dye. It also prevents any unnecessary messes by doing that. I wonder what pair of gloves I'm on now. It's at least 3. I think it's probably 5. Probably a more sustainable way of doing this rather than just putting copious amounts of gloves on, but like, I don't know yet, so I can't do that yet. I didn't mention my method of doing this while I was doing it. I will go in around the edges, especially around my forehead. I'm a little bad about getting the back of my neck. I do regularly get that covered in hair dye. We're one glove in it now, I guess. I will go in, do the intricate details, and then take globs on here, run it through my hair, and for the red sections I'm going to take this again. And just run it through to help get a more even coating, to get it down towards the roots, so that way the second I dye it, it doesn't already look like it's grown out. Now it currently looks like there's more red than pink, because like, there's a 360. Hopefully you can see that. But that's enough of the dye. I still have about half a tub of the Manic Panic left. Damn. Sorry. So that's the dye portion done. I get to just sit here and wait for probably an hour. One thing I need to mention, like I feel like it's my duty. Color killer wipes. I didn't know that's what they're called. These things, you can get it, I think they're on Amazon. Either way, I'll link them below. They're color removing, so like I'll use them around my forehead to get them off. They will also work when I get dye on the counter. They do a little, I will clean them and then I will use them to get whatever staining is left. And while I'm waiting for the dye to set, because I'm leaving it to set for about an hour, less for the red, more for the pink, because haven't used Manic Panic in years, so I don't know what's gonna happen there. I'd rather have more time than less time, because past a certain point, it doesn't really matter, just like leave it in, it's fine, you know? But I'm gonna clean while I wait, because it normally takes me about as much time to clean as it takes for the dye to set, so